today's topic of the Academy is how a booking manager can help you have a stress-free charter start for your client. As I said many times, I cannot guarantee you stress-free because I have no control over your port authorities, especially if you're in Greece. That's a stress and a burden that I cannot take off of you, but I can try to help make you as ready as possible. So this is what we're going to talk about today. So as usual, give me 2 seconds to give you a couple of numbers. I give them every session, but I'm quite proud of some of those numbers. The first thing is that we have over 12,000 yachts real-time in Booking Manager, and that represent 1,300 fleets for over 500 destinations. And the things that actually really makes me proud is the number of boats that are exclusively available through Booking Manager, which they are approaching the 4,500 boats that are only available through Booking Manager. And we are at about 4,000 boats that are mainly available, primarily available through Booking Manager, which means that the fleets trusted either to work exclusively with us, or they trust us to be their primary booking system. And you can get through Booking Manager the most updated data, availability, pricing, etc. So those two numbers are numbers that actually make us really proud, because if you look, it's basically 2/3 of our fleet are either exclusive or primarily through Booking Manager, which I think it's quite a big achievement. Okay, let's jump in. So today, I don't have many slides. If you have questions, you just drop them in the Q&A section as usual. I will try to read them as I go. And today is really focused on the check-in procedures, everything that you can do in Booking Manager before the check-in. So boarding pass, it's the first thing you can do. If you go into the reservation, here you see you have the possibility to select any of the reservations you have for the season, and you have the possibility to upload a boarding pass. This is a smart format that actually contains auto-filling fields. So all the data is about the client, the agency, the boat, the marina, the check-in, check-out time, what's left to be paid, if it's fully paid. Everything gets filled automatically from the data you have inserted in Booking Manager, and you can even insert the crew list link in the boarding pass. The crew list link is especially important for some destination, Greece being the first for which it's really important. And I want to show you how you can generate a crew list link through Booking Manager. The thing that is the most important to know about our crew list is that it's localized. What we mean by localized is that replies to the obligation that you have in your own country. So the crew list that you will have for a charter in Greece, it's not the same that you will have for a charter in Croatia, because the legal obligation that you have are different. So if you are a charter that runs a multi-base operation across countries, you will see that when you send the crew list, actually it will look differently accordingly to the check-in and check-out base you have for that specific reservation. I will take Greece as an example because it's probably the one I'm most familiar with. Greece requires the phone number of the skipper as mandatory element of the crew list, as long as the KKX, gross tonnage, net tonnage, port registration, you have some specificity, which are not relevant for Croatian charter fleets because we don't have the same obligations here in Croatia. So if you have two bases, one in Greece, one in Croatia, you will see that when you send the crew list out, those two are different. Now, how do you send it? This is the online version of Booking Manager. Of course, you can do it on the local Booking Manager the same. You open the reservation you want, and you have two possibilities, either to send the link through an email. This is an email that you can completely format and customize to fit your needs, and it has the link for the client. Or copy the link and send it in any other email or however you want. And this is what it looks like. So you see you have the data of the check-in, you have the information about the people on board. If I put skipper, it will ask me the skipper number, skipper license number, sorry. I can put my arrival, flight information, any remark. I can add extras if you offer any extra, and I can send it out. And here I have it in my application. So all the data that the client entered online, I have them either in my local application or on the online version, and you receive an email with the PDF attached. For the Greeks, once more, you have the field for the stamp and signature of port authorities that is already in the template. The template exists in about 30-ish languages, I think. And for our Croatian customers, the data can be exported directly into the eCrew system. So we have you covered for the crew list. Is there any questions so far, or I can move along with the next slide? Okay, let's go to the next. So I showed you how to send the boarding pass. I showed you how to send the crew list link. Those are two separate emails. And then according to where you're based, you will have to send a charter party, a contract, terms and conditions to be signed. And then you will have a forth and back with the client about the extras that you want to have on board. Probably his kid will join last second, say, Dad, I will come, but I want stand-up paddle. So you have an email from the agent or from the client asking for the stand-up paddle, etc., etc., etc. I think we had this conversation with some of you. It's about 10 email exchanges after the reservation is done, forth and back on the documents, and then you have to chase the copy of the skipper license, and then you have to chase the crew list, and then the guys come back with questions. So this everything that happens after the booking is confirmed. To make it easier for you, we implemented a link that reduces the number of interaction that you need to have with the client or with the agent by a consistent number, because in the MyTrip link, you actually can put in all these things we talked about. So you can send this link via email or with a text message to the client, and you can imagine it as the client private access to his reservation, so his own login page. It's secured via PIN. You can send it when it's an option, and the client can confirm the booking. The booking gets written in your calendar. It has access to the specification of the boat, the base information. If I offer any extra, they can reserve any extras that are still available. And if you connect your application with the payment system, it can be Revolut, it can be PayPal, it can be your bank, they can do the payment online. They have the crew list and they have the documents. Two important things about the crew list and the document. Again, this is a smart system, so it knows where the check-in and check-out of the boat is. So if, for example, I'm the skipper and I don't put my skipper license or my phone number and I'm sailing in Greece, I will have an alert that I have missing information in the crew list. Also, I have the documents here, so the client sees the documents you have uploaded for him in the document section. In this case, the booking confirmation, it can be the charter party, it can be the contract, can be any document, and it can upload the document. So you can upload the signed charter party, or you can upload the sailing license. It can send you the VHF license. Is that still a requirement in Croatia to have a separate VHF license? I can't remember. So all those things can be done through the MyTrip. So no need to send a boarding pass because you can upload it here and it's automatically within this link. Also, he has all the information that you have in the boarding pass available here. No need to send 300 payment reminders because, as you see, you have the amounts to be paid still here. No need to send 300 emails about the crew list because he sees here that he can do it. And if you offer any extras that can be booked last minute, then he can add the stand-up paddle for his kid 3 days before the charter. So, and pay it online if you require an upfront payment. So everything is here in this one link. So I talked about the crew list quite a lot and how, in my experience, it's quite a hassle to actually get this information. Oh, I have a question. Will the notification be enabled. If they change crew list or add any extras when the license is uploaded, usually they make changes last minute. We receive only through crew list link notification. So when there's changes in the crew list, you receive notification, Martina. For the uploaded extra or the documents, you will find them directly in the application, but I am not aware that there is an email notification. But let me double check this for you, and I will text you the answer or email you the answer after. Actually, the answer will be in the Q&A section on the web tomorrow. Okay. So this is the one of my favorite things, the tags. I think there is no presentation that I do where it's relevant that I don't talk about this. It's not something new. It's something that exists in Booking Manager for the past 20 years, but it's such a convenient thing because there's small things that you need to remember on each reservation that you need to pop out, but you cannot have like printed folders with post-it, missing crew list or missing charter party. So what we do in Booking Manager is that we allow you to customize and manage tags. So for each reservation, you can create your own custom tags. Here, for example, I'm creating a new one for missing a crew list. So you see, I have one for hostess, I have one for crewed. And what is very convenient about this is first that it's personalized, so you can create whatever you need. If you have a fully crewed, fleet, then you can have a vegetarian, VIP client, provisioning, champagne, whatever is needed for you. In this case, I'm tagging the one for which I'm missing the crew list. I can filter by tag. You see, you can search and filter by tag. And here I'm looking for all the reservation that I have tagged with missing crew list. So at once I have in one view all the reservation for which I need to call either the agent, either the client, either send an email. You can send the email, as you see, directly through the application and say, hey, please, can you send me the crew list? In case you need it, here is again the link. Or you can send the My Trip again, where there's the warning that something is missing in the crew list. So this way you can filter and manage what's relevant for you. Once you get to the crew list, you remove the tag and you keep going. So this is a very easy and intuitive way of having warnings that are relevant for the way you operate. And these tags, they can be used not only on the reservation, but you can use them on the boat, for example, or on the address book. So if it's a VIP client, if it's a blacklisted client, a blacklisted agent, you can use those tags in several places in Booking Manager, and they are very convenient, in my opinion, to use. And you saw the setup is 2 seconds. Okay, next thing that also exists for the past century in Booking Manager, I would say, is to-do list. So I am a to-do list person, and I make to-do list of everything that needs to be done on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, and you can do it on a reservation basis. So basically, you go in the reservation, you go in the tab to do, and you have your own virtual reminder. So for this charter, I need to order champagne. So I put myself a reminder for the 12th of June at 10 a.m. because who will order champagne at 8 a.m. And you can actually have this reminder that appears in the home page of your web application or your local application. Once it's done, you check it, it's there. And if the client comes back next year, you can actually go back to this to-do list because it will not be deleted and see everything that you had in place. And maybe you can anticipate his needs, and then, establish that connection with the client that will make him a repeater and a loyal client to you. So it's very easy to do. By the way, you also have it on the yacht. So you might need it for the maintenance of the life raft, inspection of the fire extinguishers, insurance. So all those things can actually be also used on the yacht, on the boat level, if you need it. Okay? All clear? Did you know already all of this? Is it all clear, or I'm rambling so much that you got lost and you don't know what I'm talking about? I will take it as it's all clear and we're on a roll and go to the next one. Remarks? So I have a colleague in the office that has her desk covered in post-its, and they are all color coded. You know, she knows what is there, and she can orientate herself. To me, it looks like a puzzle. So Booking Manager has the virtual version of the post-it, which are remarks. So instead of printing the folder and putting 300 post-its with everything that needs to be done or has been communicated or not with the client, you can do it through remarks. You have three kinds of remarks. You have general remarks, which are visible if you're using the local Booking Manager and you use the booking sheet. You know that there is a bubble that appears if you hover over. Those remarks are visible there. Then I have internal remarks, which I can make or not make visible in the reports, and check out remarks. For example, this charter will have a pet on board, and I have to let the cleaning team know that they need to do a more thorough or with these sanitizing techniques for allergies. So I can put this in the checkout remarks. Or maybe for the one of you that do bareboat charter and you have Italian clients on board, the Italian client called you and said that they blocked the toilet. And then you need to have the team, at the base ready on the Friday, if it's a Saturday, to ready to declog the toilets so that the next Saturday charter can start in time. So those are remarks that you can put there. Georgia is asking what's different between the first and third. So remarks is the general remarks. It can be anything. It can be here, for example, I have a specific file number because I am archiving them in a certain order. It can be just a note that it's a VIP client. Okay, between internal and checkout or between remarks and internal? The difference between remarks and internal is that remarks appear in the local booking manager in the bubble. So don't put there something that you're not ready to be visible, and they also appear in the embarkment list that I will show you. So speaking quite frankly, if it's, how do you say it in a polite way? If it's a complicated client, one that needs extra care and extra love, then you put it in internal remarks, because if the client comes at the check-in, sees the printed embarkment list and says, annoying client, he might not be really happy with you. So you put it in internal remarks. So you know it when you have him on the phone that you have to be extra careful, but it's not visible in the bubble in the LBM or in the embarkment list. The remarks is general remarks, things that, if it's a VIP client, he will be happy to know that he's a VIP client. Or maybe you don't want to communicate it, so you put it in internal. So this is the difference. The checkout remarks is things that are relevant for the team at the base at the checkout. Is now clear? So remark is a general comment, no pain, no harm done if somebody reads them. Internal remarks is things that are confidential, that you want to keep internal for your team, but shouldn't be visible to clients or elsewhere. Checkout remarks are things that are relevant to the team that does the disembarkment or the cleaning or the maintenance team. We're good? Amazing. Okay, so these are your virtual post-its. So I just mentioned that these are visible in the embarkment list. So let's go look at the embarkment list. So for those of you that have the advanced version of Booking Manager, have the possibility to do reports. An embarkment list is one of those reports. So you have different formats of this report. Now I'm doing the list, for example. You can use the table. You look through them and see what's the most fit for your team. And here I can, for example, decide to show or not internal remarks. I can show extras, check-in and check-out remarks, deposit and cleaning. So I have the possibility to customize it to my team. And here you can see which guest is disembarking, which guest is embarking. For example, if there is still any amount due and the base needs to know that, I don't know, the end cleaning is not paid, or that we're missing 200 euros from the second deposit, all of these things appear in the embarkment list. So you can either print it or send it via email to the base team if you run a multi-base operation and maybe you don't have the physical base team there with you. You can just send it via an email. So you have all those possibilities, and you have the possibilities also to show if the boat is moving from one base to another. So if there is a boat transfer, you have this possibility here. Okay. So I was mentioning that sometimes, it happens that the client requests an extra last minute, or he forgot to pay 100 euros in his balance, whatever reason. And you might not always have a POS machine with you to take a credit card, because maybe you were very kind to the client and you're doing the check-in on a base that is not your regular. Or maybe the crew is doing the check-in because it's a crewed boat and you're picking up the client directly at the hotel. So it can happen that you need another solution to get a payment quickly without having a POS machine, and you cannot wait a bank transfer. So the solution is payment link. When you go in your reservation, so I selected this reservation, I click here and payment link. So you can connect with all the payment system that I mentioned before. In this case, I'm picking Revolut. I put the amount, and here, for example, I'm asking 100 euros security deposit for my stand-up paddle. And here I generate a link that I can send to the client with text message, via email, whatever. And he can do his payment online like we do regularly, a million times a day, maybe not a million times a day, but quite often when we do our online shopping. And this comes immediately in your bank account, and you're safe to send the client out with the stand-up paddle. And this solves the problem if you don't have a POS machine with you on the base. Okay. Any question? Yes, no, maybe. Okay. So again, for those of you that use the Booking Manager in the advanced version, they have the possibility to track payments. And you have in your reservation tab, both online and in the local Booking Manager, the possibility to track payments. You can issue an invoice for the payment or not. That's up to you, depending what's the requirement of the legislation in your own country. But why it's convenient to track payments in general, even if you don't issue an invoice for advance payment, is because then you have the payment analyzer. So here I have access to all the reservations that are done. I can filter them by payment period, or in my case, I will filter them by reservation. So I'm checking my 26 stats. And I see that I have all of these reservations. For example, this first reservation, I invoiced 2,000 euros, but only 1,000 euros paid, but it's not overdue. While I see that this other reservation is 47 days late. So I have the number of the reservation. I can either send an email reminder, I can give them a call. I can also print or export this information and send them to my accounting team or to my reservation team, or whoever is for whoever these information are relevant. If you're in the local Booking Manager, for example, you can click on the reservation and send the reminder. You can even select multiple reservations if you have an agency from which you have problem collecting payments. You can actually select filter by guest or by agency, and then actually select all the reservation from a specific agent and send one Excel reminder with all the reservation and how they are overdue. And what is very cool with the payment analyzer is that it actually tracks the reminder that you sent through the program, and you see when the last reminder was sent and how many reminders were sent. So if you have more than one person that follows the accounting department, then they see that maybe I sent the reminder yesterday and they will not send another today to the same client. Also, you can send automatic payment reminders if you wish, and then they are sent automatically on a specific day of the week. Okay. I think this is, we're approaching the end. I have a couple of slides left. This is a very quick one. If you go in your local Booking Manager, one of the things that you can do to help you with your check-in procedure is that actually you can select a boat, and here you have all the inventory that you have on the boat. You can click on the inventory button and print a PDF with checkboxes. So you can print this and have it with the client and say, okay, we checked that the check-in, radar is here, check. Spray hood is here, checked. Barbecue is here, checked. And I can put remarks and I can assign me check-in person and the client. And then we keep the paper, and at the checkout, we do the same. We go through the inventory and, sign it again to have a document. Then you can scan this document and upload it in Booking Manager documents in the reservation. So you always have a trace of the check-in, check-out you did with the client. This is the reason why we always advise you to have a complete inventory in Booking Manager. This saves you two things. One is that you reduce the number of questions that you get from agency or client if you have all the relevant information inside. The second is that you can actually then generate this PDF and do the check-in this way. My personal suggestion is be detailed, but not over detailed. You put, I don't know, cutlery, and you don't put 8 spoons, 8 forks, and 8 knives, because then you have a German client that says, here there's 7 small spoons. I want a refund, or I want an extra spoon. So be aware of that. Talking about check-in, check-out procedures, I want to introduce you to 2 of our partners that do check-in, check-out applications that can digitalize this last part of the process that we're talking about. The first one is the SAILQR, that are exclusively working with Booking Manager. So only Booking Manager customers can work with SAILQR, and they do a check-in, check-out application. As you see, it's multilingual, it's very easy for the clients, and has automated messages inside. And the second one is FLOATIST, that you might know already, so I will not go into much details. They're our partner for several years now. And for the agents, what is convenient is that if you are working with FLOATIST, Martina, you are Archon partner. Archon is actually FLOATIST partner, for example. And so they can have this badge so that the agent that... This is Archon boat. Oh, yeah, I'm blind, sorry. So you see, Archon is our golden partner and a FLOATIST partner. They're a perfect example. And so Archon has the FLOATIST badge, so that the agent, when they go online and book a boat from Archon, they know that their client can benefit from the online check-in from FLOATIST and have a smoother onboarding and check-in process at the base. See you next month on the 14th of May. We're talking about money and how not to leave the money on the table. I will have a special guest with me on the 14th of May, so don't miss it. Also, I just want to give you little preview that the June will be the last academy before the summer. We will take a break in July and August for obvious reason, aka you will be too busy to be here to listen to me. So June 3rd, I think, it's our last academy before the school holidays. And it will be a school session, let's call it. It's a wrap up. So I want to go through the main things we talked about this year, but the main thing we want to focus on is answering your questions. So please, if there's any topic that I didn't talk about so far, anything that I mentioned briefly and you didn't have the time to dive deeper, if there's anything that is bothering you in your daily work life and that you think we can help you with, if there's any question you have, send us an email at marketing@mmksystems.com, and then I will have time to prepare it and answer to those questions during the academic session. So our aim for the June session is really to tailor it to your needs. Everything that you seen during these sessions or that you think we should talk about, I want that to be covered in the next session.